Hi and welcome to another narration presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to tap the notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Oh, and don't forget to share the video far and wide. This will all help with YouTube's algorithm and will help promote the channel more. If you're going to leave a dislike, please be so kind as to comment why. That way I can review what you didn't like about the video and I can possibly make changes in future videos. Thank you. If you enjoy listening to the following story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. Some advice from a veteran monster hunter. This fantastic story is written by Greickart, a wonderful author over on Reddit's NoSleep subreddit. I have been prowling NoSleep for a while now. Some of the first-hand accounts I see on here help me with my work. However, other times I can't help but think, how the hell are you still alive? But then it makes me realise that for every account that I read of someone surviving, there are usually 3 more cases where someone did die because of their stupid mistake. So I'm here to try to keep you all from being mauled, abducted, eaten or otherwise fucked up by the things that go bump in the night. Most likely you're all thinking, what gives this guy the right to talk down to us like he is? Well, I've been hunting these things for 29 years. Most people in my line of work don't make it to 10, much less 30. Before you ask, no, I will be not having a party. My point is that I know a hell of a lot about these things. You need to learn to stay alive if you have my job. It's not as easy as reading the old stories. And that leads me into the first thing I'd like to address. Lore. I have an acronym for lore. Lost over recent eras. This little beauty has saved my life plenty of times. Do not expect to survive an encounter with a creature you know nothing about. And do not expect to survive an encounter with a creature using 400-year-old information. Not only is lore old information, but it's basically a giant game of telephone spanning centuries. If you millennials even know what telephone is, it's word of mouth and it's not to be trusted. For example, there are a myriad of differences between the European and the North American skinwalker. An important difference to know is that lycanthropes have no power over their transformation, while skinwalkers can transform at will when they've mastered the technique. When confronting a lycanthrope, expect it to act like a rabid beast. They are predictable, however, in the sense that they will attack almost anything. Lycanthropes are often 8 to 10 feet tall, depending on the height of the individual prior to transformation. They are heavily built and are extremely strong. Lycanthropy is a disease. The movie's got that right. Europe is full of these transformative viruses. They contort the base genome of DNA. Ever heard of the Black Death? Same type of disease, just a different transformative effect. And because the disease changes the infected person's DNA, it can be passed down through family lines. Skinwalkers, however, do not transform because of a disease. They use blood magic. I hate blood magic so fucking much. Native American lore talks of shaman who dabbled in the dark arts, shape-shifting mainly. The shaman would wear the pelts of an animal of their choosing and shift into their form. Well, the lore is not entirely accurate, as usual. Skinwalkers cannot shift into animals, they blend with them. They are humanoid beastmen. Most commonly, they use a canid as their animal. Why? Because it's blood magic. For the spell to work, the shaman, or other idiot playing with forces they don't understand, must skin the animal they want to shift into alive. Capturing and skinning a coyote or fox is far easier than skinning a bear, a deer, or other creature of the forest. So guess what every dumbass thinks? That's a werewolf! Look honey, it's a werewolf! No it isn't. Let me make some things perfectly clear. Skinwalkers can still maintain their human intelligence after transformation. They are still able to reason. That means opening doors, ambushing prey with bait, invading being filmed and captured, etc. and etc. I know firsthand how dangerous a case of mistaken identity can be for an experienced hunter. I can't even begin to tell of the danger a novice hunter is in. I was working with a man named Lincoln, a hunter of 8 years. I was only 12 years into my career. We had gotten a tip from a local shaman on an Indian reservation that something was wrong. He whispered of animals slaughtered and howls in the night. Now I knew what he meant immediately. Skinwalker. Nothing I hadn't seen before. My partner, on the other hand, had never heard of a skinwalker. So I had to give him a crash course. All the basics. Don't use silver. Find some monk's hood, more commonly known as wolfsbane, and poison your crossbow, and treat it like an intelligent human being. Well, Lincoln apparently took my advice, to the letter. He walked up to me half an hour later with a wolfsbane plant. He tore it from the ground, root and stem, without any fucking gloves. For those of you who don't know, monk's hood is very poisonous, sometimes lethal. Now, he hadn't eaten any, so he had the common sense not to ingest a toxin strong enough to knock fucking beastmen on their asses. But still, he was in danger of being affected by the plant. I told Lincoln he had to sit this one out. Through skin contact, monk's hood toxin can cause heart palpitations, sweating and disorientation. Any one of these symptoms meant that Lincoln would be easy prey for any skinwalker prowling around. He was furious. We had agreed to work together and split the reward for the wolves prowling the woods. But because of his stupid fucking mistake, he had forfeited that reward. That night I went into the woods alone. Or I thought I did. I set up shop in a tree stand and set up camouflage and masked my scent with piss. The skinwalker's piss, to be exact. I was deep in his territory and his scent was everywhere. I don't know if you've ever smelled skinwalker piss, but it's rank. Think bleach mixed with wet dog and the smell of stagnant water. The reason the smell is so strong is because the body expels toxins ingested to cause the shift. You are royally fucking your body up when you skin shift, and it's no joke. Most men break under the stress of the transformation. They go feral, and when the change is over, they are whimpering babies, unable to reason or speak. It's for this reason that most of the time my job is over before it begins, but sometimes a man is strong enough to survive the change. When a man becomes a beast, he is still able to reason like a human. That is when skinwalkers are at their most dangerous. Well, I tracked it down to its lair, its safe space to endure the change. I set up the stand there and waited. Hours passed and eventually I saw a bipedal creature. It seemed unsteady and exhausted. I took a look through my crossbow scope, outfitted with night vision, and swore. It was Lincoln. That fucker had tracked my fucker to his house, and the moron was knocking at his door. To his credit, he did almost everything right. He even brought the monk's hood. Unfortunately, unless distilled, it gave off an odour that a skinwalker could smell from a mile away. Now I knew Lincoln was dead. The fucking skinwalker would have already caught the scent of that plant. No way in hell he was getting out of this. And since the activity was going on for some time, I had to assume that the skinwalker survived the initial shift. Once he chowed down on one hunter, he'd be on edge for more. So I did the only thing I could do to stay alive. I shot the prick Lincoln in the back with a wolfsbane laced crossbow bolt. It was a clean shot, brought him down and struck an artery I would expect. His already increased heart rate from the effects of the poison would be through the roof. spreading the toxin around. He screamed and bled and screamed some more. That only got the fucker more stirred up. Soon I could hear crashing through the undergrowth. The skinwalker had come to pay his respects to Lincoln. If he was screaming before, he was really screaming now. The beast had its snout in his chest before he could blink. Hell, before I could blink. When you first see one of these things, it's revolting. But as time goes on, you start to see them for the magnificent predators they are. As I was sitting there watching the skinwalker feed on Lincoln, it was an almost cathartic thing. So I waited some more after he was done, and it started shitting, and I mean really shitting, leaving trails of it everywhere, and urinating too. It tried to run but couldn't. The poison was already taking hold. I think halfway through the great beast shitting out chunks of Lincoln and blood, it realised it was dying. It snarled and looked around, howling into the night sky. Then it saw me drop down from my stand. I walked over to the skinwalker and met his gaze with my own. With his eyes, it told me everything I needed to know, how they looked me over and bore into mine. It knew I was the one who outsmarted it, and it hated me for it. I put a bolt between its eyes and burned the body. Lincoln's too, or what was left of it. My family have been hunting these things for generations, and if there's one thing I've learned in almost 30 years of hunting, is that to kill a monster, sometimes you have to be one. Now some of you might find my methods a little extreme. You'll be happy to know my wife and kids are less, brutal. That's what I'd use. My son Ian is in Ireland studying the Fae. My daughter Lizzie is in Europe hunting the real monsters, lycanthropes, vampires and the like. My wife Samantha is in Asia hunting all manners of monsters. I can't even pronounce most of them, but she could. My brother is in Australia hunting God knows what. I've emailed them with the information to this Reddit account. If you have any particular questions, comment on this post. We all have our share of fucked up stories, so we can entertain you, educate you, and make our jobs easier at the same time. I'll update this tomorrow, or someone else will, with the most requested region and or monster. Have a nice day. Oh, and do us all a favour, and don't go fucking with anything you don't understand. You don't want to end up like Lincoln. Don't forget, if you enjoyed that story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. And don't forget to check out the merch store. The link will be in the description and also in the video thumbnail. If you would like an honourable mention, send in a snapshot of yourself with your purchase and I'll feature it in one of the videos. Have you written a creepypasta story you would like me to narrate? Or have you had any cryptid sightings, paranormal or supernatural encounters? Or even had a creepy or terrifying situation you would like to share? You could submit your stories, encounters and any other mail to cryptidsroost@gmail.com. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine with me. I also have a Facebook group, Twitter, Reddit and Discord. If you would like to support this channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/cryptidsroost, and any and all donations would be gratefully received. Again, that will also be listed below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.